Oval fans, now it is difficult to say what's going to go down in regards to the Sam, Richard, and Barry scene, even Nancy's scene of next week's episode. There's only two pieces, well technically, yeah, two scenes to really talk about. In the promo that just dropped about an hour ago from the time of me recording this video, we see Sam come over to Nancy and Richard's house, and in the living room we have Barry and Richard and Sam. Sam says, "I know your daughter is in there," in regards to the Rakadouchi compound. We even have a cutaway to the Rakadouchi compound. This is a flashback, folks, from when Manny and Daikon are standing outside of the front gate, and I believe this is after Richard, Sharon, and Dale had left, and then of course they get run off the road. But Sam says, "I know your daughter is in there. This is not something you want to hear." So this is obviously some bad news, and we see Barry walk away. Now, even though Sam says this is not something you want to hear, I feel like if it concerns his daughter, Barry isn't going anywhere until he hears about it. Now, before this scene happened, there's a moment where, well, actually, I don't know if it happens before in the episode, in the episode, but then in the promo, I just know it happens after this scene with Sam. There's a moment where we see Nancy and Richard in bed, and it looks like they pop up like they heard something. Now, this could be one of two things, in my opinion. Number one, it's the sound of Sam knocking at the door, and they both jump up like, who is it this time of night? And then Richard goes downstairs and even Barry to see who's at the door, and it's Sam. Or the alternative, Sam comes over with the bad news of something going down at the compound bad, and it could be in relation to the kids or everybody at the compound. Everybody in the compound's dead. And that could be the whole thing about the punch and whatnot. But then again, remember that Tally and Oliver got rid of the cyanide, and Ruth was determined to get salt instead, but Andrew wasn't able to go to the store. And keep in mind, the events of Ruthless and the Oval, the timeline's way out of whack. The events of what's going down in Ruthless right now, they haven't even caught up to season 1, episode 11 of the Oval. And we're all the way towards the back half of season 3 of the Oval. So just keep that in mind. There's a large gap. So when Ruth is like, help me get out, that could be a sign that some major shit's going down. So I think the worst case scenario, Sam comes by with the news about Barry's daughter and Ruth possibly being dead. Barry walks off. Later that night, when Nancy and Richard are asleep, Barry can't handle it, and there's a gunshot, and that's the thing that wakes him up in the middle of the night because Barry killed himself. That again is the worst case scenario. I am not sure if this is the scenario, but Sam came over in the middle of the night with that news. And he did it in person. He could have called, but he did it in person. So that kind of lets me know something bad really happened and something worse happened to Barry, because he couldn't handle it. I mean, his daughter was his world. I mean, that's literally his entire character. And to be completely honest, if Callie and Ruth are both dead or they're just gone, what purpose does Barry serve on the show? Because the whole thing with Sharon, even though I'm not saying I want her with Kareem, Sharon's story now has gone beyond Barry. Like, Barry is there's no need of connecting those characters anymore. So for me personally, with Vaughn having a, starring role in the game reboot series, he's been in movies, he has other projects coming up, I think his time on the show is over. In my opinion. Like, I could be wrong, in regards to what happens to Barry, but I just feel like, think about it. When you look at what Barry's been doing for the back half of the season, he just pops up randomly. Like, hey, where's my daughter? Hey, mom and dad. Bye. I'm looking for the money, and that's it. Seriously, that's his whole character. And if Callie's gone, there's really no need of Barry being there. I think Barry would have served a bigger role, or a more important role, if he was in the Ruthless series. Like, let's say he left DC and was trying to, get contacts to the Rakadouchi or something. I feel like that would have been more exciting for the character. So that's just my opinion. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. You know, as always, hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Hit subscribe as we move closer to 200,000 subscribers. We are less than 1,000 people from that magic number. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Hit that bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out when I post content on the channel. And if you would like to donate, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.